episode of Top of the Morning is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Kelly Harmon, providing you with well-researched guidance backed by Edward Jones' extensive team and technology that help you prepare for retirement, children's education, or other financial goals. Call 252-473-1006 or visit the link on the screen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's 9 a.m. It is time for Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. If you haven't done so already, please jump over to tuconservative.com. Grab yourself a membership. You can also find out how to sponsor an episode or a season of the Urban Conservative or Top of the Morning. But we really appreciate all the love. Our goal, our mission is to share conservative values and principles and the benefits of conservative policies to urban communities across this great nation of ours. I got to start off by giving a shout out to my twin brother, Raheem, Architect Soto, who's out hitting them streets on assignment. Big up to the South Shore Press and the whole crew over there. I see Barbara Chapman's already checked in. You beat me to it, Miss Barbara. I was going to say, let us know where you're watching from, so that way we can get you a shout out on this morning show. And give us a like, share, follow, subscribe, all of that fantastic stuff. In case you do not know about it, and I know a lot of the folks that are fans of our show here are also fans of the Lieutenant Governor we've got here in North Carolina, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Well, if you want an opportunity to not only meet the Lieutenant Governor, to hear what the Lieutenant Governor has to say, but also if you want the opportunity to win a Coyote Tan Glock 19, Granville County is where you need to be at 6 o'clock today. You need to be in Granville County at the GOP's fundraiser for Mark Robinson. It's the GOP fundraiser. Mark Robinson will be there, but it'll be a great opportunity for you to meet the Lieutenant Governor, to hear what he has to say. Here we go. And I got you right now. I got you covered, folks. Don't worry about it. But here you go. Granville County's GOP exclusive fundraising event with Mark Robinson. It is today that we are going to be doing this. Shouts out to Jacob Rogers, Pastor Bruce, and Lorraine Legates for sponsoring the event. But again, it's going down today in Oxford. Address, as you can see on your screen, 4185 US Highway 15 at the Granville County Expo Center. Tickets are only $35. You will be entered to win a Coyote Tan Glock 19. As well, there will be refreshments. The Lieutenant Governor will be in the building. I will be in the building. So if you're not doing much today, you want an opportunity to hear from, meet the Lieutenant Governor. If you're in the Granville and surrounding areas, great opportunity for you to come out and hear from the Lieutenant Governor. But we're going to jump right in. I mean, one of the biggest issues that we have right now, I'm going to leave that up there. As you can see on the screen, it's like everything Trump does is racist, or at least that's what the left would have us believe. Trump buys McDonald's. He's racist because there were black people at the Burger King. Trump goes to Burger King. He's racist because there were Hispanic people at the McDonald's. Trump visits a gun store. And now the report is that he is dog whistling, okay? That Trump is dog whistling to white supremacists. That's the story that's being pushed out here now, is that Donald Trump spoke to a crowd during a campaign stop back on the 25th, a couple of days ago in Summerville, South Carolina. Now, people are saying he broke the law when he stopped at the gun store and allegedly purchased a Glock, which would be illegal for someone under a federal indictment. Now, this was reported before that a rep for Trump said the ex-president did buy a gun at the shop on Monday, then quickly turned around and essentially said, "Psych, y'all know he ain't buying that thing." I'm paraphrasing, of course. But there's still a lot of speculation out there about whether he bought the firearm, especially since there's a video floated around him of the store saying, "I want to buy one," like he's a child in a store, in a candy store, which when it comes to the Second Amendment enthusiast and gun stores is pretty much exactly what we are. That is true. But the fact of the matter is, the gun company is Palmetto State Armory, was the one that supplied The Jacksonville mass murder of 3 black people at a Dollar General store with the gun he painted a swastika on. So the gun didn't come with a swastika. Okay? The gun didn't come with a swastika. It didn't. The guy painted it on there. Now we're saying the gun store is responsible for the mass shooting, and now Trump is dog whistling to white supremacists because he stopped at that store. It just sounds fairly ridiculous to me. It just sounds really, really ridiculous to me that now we're accusing him of dog whistling. And I never understood what the idea of a dog whistle was anyway. Because they're saying he's saying it to he's cozying up to the white supremacist without actually saying anything. And it's weird because I think the people need to know that maybe he just stopped by there to grab, maybe it was en route. I don't know. But to suggest that he's doing that to dog whistle to white supremacists is absolutely ridiculous. Trump came out and roundly condemned white supremacy, white supremacists, David Duke. They said, oh, it took them 2 weeks to disavow David Duke. Therefore, Donald Trump is a racist. I know it sounds like a broken record, y'all. It sounds like a broken record with the left. Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 Russia, Russia, Russia. Trump's a racist. Everything Trump does is racist. We covered this yesterday on the show. Snoop Dogg talking about if anybody supports Trump, he's stupid because he don't care and he don't know nothing. But here's the thing. At what point do we stop this foolishness? At what point is it just the guy stopped at a gun store? This guy just stopped at a gun store. I don't know how we overcomplicate that, but it seems to be that is another tool of the left is to accuse any, every, and all people of racism when they're not falling in line. Trump support is growing among black voters. It's growing among Hispanic voters. It doesn't look like anybody's going to beat him. DeSantis is down in the polls. One of his major PACs just closed out. Ramaswamy is dag near about to be ahead of DeSantis in most places, which terrifies me. But I still don't see anybody capable, not that I want there to be, capable of beating Donald Trump. I just don't see that happening. I don't think that this was dog whistling. I think the man stopped at a gun store. It just so happened to be the gun store. How many gun stores, if we think about how many stolen guns there are, do we blame the people who didn't lock their guns up for criminals acting that way? We don't. So we're not going to blame the gun store. We're not going to say Donald Trump is racist because he stopped by a gun store. We're not going to do that. Again, we'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. Y'all don't go nowhere. It appears even the Democrats don't want Kamala Harris. Y'all going to want to hear this one. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. Don't move.
Do you like NASCAR? Do you like a Tribe Called Quest? Well, you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like manwich and nachos? Well, then you'd love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like guns? Do you like butter? Well, you're gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Yo, what's good, son? You like pit bulls, say? You like solving Sudoku puzzles? Then you gonna love the Urban Conservative. Hey, buddy, if your car making a sound like this, you might want to get you some power steering fluid and check out the Urban Conservative podcast. Are you repulsed by the idea of drag queen story time at your local library, but enjoy Carol Baskin TikTok memes? Then you would enjoy the Urban Conservative.
Do you want to slap your boss and then go home and make yourself some golden brown pancakes covered in butter and freshly made warm boysenberry syrup? Then you'll love the Urban Conservative.
You're a little over Cardi B.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back. Top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative. Needed to take that quick commercial break so that I could go get some of that amazing Tyrus Kemp coffee, man. This is some good stuff. Right now, I'm on the Bolivia. This is like a chocolate toffee coffee paradise. So shouts out to Tyrus Kemp for keeping me going this morning with his amazing coffee. Now, guys, I want to be clear on something. I've never been a Kamala Harris fan. Okay, I mean, I get it. She's a minority person of color person. I get that, and people want to call her a black woman. I mean, okay, I don't technically know what it means to be in the black club. If Kamala's black and Obama's black and Anita Earls is black, then what's black if everybody's black? But it appears that even the Democrats, like James Clyburn, a front-running head Democrat guy, doesn't even want Kamala Harris. They don't even want to come out and say that she is the future of the Democratic Party. That's huge to me when they don't even want to mention Kamala Harris. I thought this was absolutely interesting. Y'all, listen to this from Meet the Press. Check this out.
All right, well, let's turn to Vice President Harris. Do you see her as the future of the Democratic Party?
Straight up question. Shouldn't be too much dilly-dallying, bouncing around. Let's see what we get.
I see her as a part of that future, absolutely.
A part of that future, not the future.
Is she the future, though? Is she the future of the Democratic Party?
Oh, she could very well be. I think she is running a very good campaign. Her speech last night was great, and I look to her as a successor to this president.
Come on, y'all. How many? He looks at her as if she is a successor to this current president. Do I need to pull up a list of Kamala Harris's accomplishments? Do I really need to kind of look through this and see what Kamala Harris has actually accomplished? She hasn't done anything on the border. She hasn't done anything on education. She hasn't done anything on Ukraine. She hasn't done anything. Matter of fact, the only thing that I can think of that Kamala Harris has been successful at is not making sense. It's about the only thing you got. That's the only thing that I can come up with that Kamala Harris has done well, and that is making utterly, absolutely no sense at all. Can't figure out what she's talking about half the time. If y'all go visit our Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. Makes absolutely no sense. I can't understand. If we're together, then we're unified. And if we're unified, then we're together. And we must be unified to be together in order for our togetherness to be unified. Absolutely ridiculous. And then she keeps up with what is the other line that she uses? Today and tomorrow. It's like it's weird today and tomorrow motif that this lady's got going on. But I don't want people to take for granted what James Clyburn is saying here. What he is saying is that she makes, in his eyes,
also know the history of that as well. It's not a given. You don't automatically move up. She'll have to compete going forward with whoever may have dreams and aspirations, and I think she will acquit herself well.
Well, I know that you're saying you don't look at the polls too much, but our poll does show her favorability is actually lower than President Biden, and even
Yikes! Yikes! Now I'm always curious as to who they're asking this question to, but 31% positive yo, 51% negative. She's actually doing worse than Biden. That's absolutely nuts. That is absolute. I mean, the numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, y'all. The lady is not capable. She's not, I don't see her being able at any point to keep up, to be able to do anything worthwhile in this seat, because I just have to go like this. And we'll just have to do this because I can't, what we're going to end up. Here you go. I can't do this. I'm gonna have to just show y'all this. I'm gonna just show y'all this because I can't do this.
And that every vice president understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different. Let us also understand that every vice president,
Does anybody understand this?
every vice president, understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get it. The lady makes absolutely no sense. She has a track record. What do we call her? Lock a brother up. Kamala, lock a brother up, Harris. She has a terrible track record. She lied about listening to Tupac in high school. The woman makes no sense, and she's always talking about Venn diagrams. It's something we can't figure out. But again, even the Democrats are looking for somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back and talk about North Carolina's governor primary heating up. You're not going to want to miss this on Top of the Morning, y'all. Don't go nowhere. Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are back. Top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative. I'm Abdul Ali. Thank you so much for being with us. Oh man, and I didn't get y'all with a mug shot, but I got that Tyrus Kemp. I'm doing my dad mug this morning. It's interesting. The North Carolina gubernatorial primary is getting more and more interesting as days go by. Now, there are a lot of folks in North Carolina who are paying attention to this primary, primarily because the big fight is on the Republican side. We've got the current front runner, at least according to all the polls and all the anecdotal data and all the groundswell. You have the number one candidate, Mark Robinson. You've got who I think has done an amazing job as a treasurer for the state of North Carolina is Dale Falwell. Then you have Mark Walker, who ran a campaign for Senate against Ted Budd and lost. May decide to run for Congress again after this. Don't know. Don't think he has very much of a shot at this point, just looking at the numbers for Mark Robinson. I just don't see it. I like Mark Walker. I think the world of him. I think he did a great job in Congress. These numbers are hard to beat. Now, former President Reagan said the 11th commandment is, thou shalt not speak ill of another Republican. And this year's primary for governor, Walker appears to be taking a different path. And according to some, especially this is the Blue Ridge Public Radio's report, it might be the only chance that he or any other candidate has to break through a dominant, controversial opponent, mainly Mark Robinson. Now, Walker is, again, a former congressman from the Triad. He didn't hold back against frontrunner Mark Robinson in an interview last week with Inside Politics. Walker said he doesn't expect Robinson to participate in any debates before the March primary because his campaign team won't put him on the stage and let him trip all over himself. He cast Robinson as an unprincipled on issues like abortion. Quote, who knows where he is today? I don't know if that is a script he is trying to follow. Walker also suggesting Robinson as governor would be a rubber stamp for Phil Berger. Now, there's a reason Phil Berger never stood with Pat McCrory. There's a reason he never stood with Dan Forrest. Yet, he is the first one up the steps with Mark Robinson's campaign announcement. Walker continued, the question is why? I think one of the reasons why Robinson hasn't said anything the last few months about anything Phil Berger is trying to do. That's interesting. I think that's interesting. Mark Walker claiming that Mark Robinson would be a rubber stamp for Senate leader Phil Berger. Now, that's the first that I've heard of that. I've met Mark Robinson on umpteen occasions. I've had the opportunity to work with his staff. I've had an opportunity to go to tons of events. I'll be at an event with him tonight. Rubber stamp just doesn't, I don't know if that gets it. But it's interesting to see that this is the approach
that some folks decide to take during a primary. I mean, Falwell has made light of some of the facts that Robinson has neglected to show up for some appointments, for some important meetings there in Raleigh. It's supposed to be the lieutenant governor is supposed to be present at a myriad of things, and according to Mark Walker, Robinson has neglected to, kind of do his duty, if you will. Now, the interesting part about this is the lead, as I look through some of the comments on some of these stories, the lead appears to be insurmountable, folks. It doesn't even look like this is going to be this doesn't look like it's going to be close. Now, the argument could be made, definite argument could be made that there's a lot of room between now and March. I don't see Robinson's, support shrinking. I don't see that. I do think it's interesting, though. One thing I saw was this report about some of these straw polls that came out, and mainly there was one done in Wake, and I think there was another straw poll done in Mech at a women's club event. And the media would have you believe, based on the way that they've written these reports about Mark Robinson, is that he's losing support. Now, the interesting thing was, it looked like there weren't hundreds or even 200 people at these events. We're talking about 35, 40, 50 people. You're not talking about not even 1,000 people. So are these straw polls within the county party movement strong enough to dictate that Mark Robinson doesn't have support? I don't think so. Just don't think that's the case. So we're going to keep our eyes on this primary. Mark Walker out there throwing bolos. I heard Dale Falwell out there throwing bolos. We're going to see, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back on Top of the Morning. Y'all don't go nowhere.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
All right, y'all, we're back. Top of the morning. This is just beyond interesting to me. This story that's coming out here. This is North Carolina. Coming out of North Carolina. I can't even say anything. Y'all just listen. Well, don't listen to the commercial. Let's not listen to the commercial. We're not going to listen to the commercial. Let's just not do that. Hold on, we're going to get past that ad. Here we go. Here you go. Listen.
Men are now considering permanent sterilization procedures like hysterectomies or getting their tubes tied.
This trend is coming after state lawmakers approved a 12-week restriction on abortions. WCNC Charlotte's Lexi Wilson has more on how these restrictions have impacted women's decisions to choose permanent birth control.
Today I spoke to a North Carolina woman who says she knew she didn't want kids and had been contemplating sterilization for quite some time.
Why don't you not have unprotected sex then, ma'am?
Now with stricter abortion laws, it solidified her decision.
The motion carries.
In the months since North Carolina lawmakers approved a 12-week restriction on abortions, doctors say the number of women requesting sterilization to avoid pregnancy is rising.
There is no longer wiggle room or room for error.
Dr. Kavita Aurora is an OBGYN at the UNC School of Medicine. She believes requests asking for permanent birth control, like a hysterectomy or a woman getting their tubes tied, is directly related to state abortion laws.
We're pressuring them in other ways.
Hold on. Wait a second, y'all. I don't understand. So because the people of North Carolina wanted and support and as much as I could deign, as much as I could find, right? Support life. North Carolina is a pro-life state. Let me say that one more time. North Carolina is a pro-life state. So, and this is what I want. This is what they're trying to get us to think. And I could be wrong. Y'all heard this. So they're trying to say because we have a 12-week ban on abortion, and because you can't get an abortion now, you're going to decide to permanently sterilize yourself. Now, that's your choice. It's absolutely a woman's choice to choose to remove her uterus, to tie her tubes. That is totally your choice. But to say that it's because
We have a 12-week abortion, man. I can't kill the baby, so I don't want to have the option of getting pregnant. I can't kill the baby after 12 weeks is what you're saying. This is absolutely bizarre. It's just bizarre.
Policies, right? We are forcing folks to make decisions that are permanent and require surgery.
Yeah, there's something in that lady's eyes I don't
may
like.
not otherwise have made if all of their reproductive
there's something
healthcare
about that lady's
options were
eyes that's
available to
weirding me
them.
out.
That was kind of what really pushed us to try to find a doctor.
28-year-old Kelsey Rayfield recently had a hysterectomy done by a Shelby doctor. She's among a growing number of women in North Carolina choosing permanent sterilization in the wake of new abortion restrictions.
And because my husband and I knew we didn't want children, we did not want to feel forced or trapped into something that would change our lives for something we didn't want.
Since the procedure is permanent, some doctors are reluctant, especially for those who are younger.
There's a lot of pushback. Most of the places we had called wanted my husband's permission and kept saying we would change our mind.
But Rayfield says at a time when lawmakers chip away at reproductive rights, she's confident in her decision.
It's my body, it's my life.
And since there has been stricter abortion laws, doctors...
Correct, ma'am. It is absolutely 1,000,000% your body. It is your life. And once you are pregnant, that baby is not your body, and that baby's life is not your life. So interesting to me to see that instead of making healthier sexual decisions, instead of looking for opportunities to have a healthier lifestyle, people are going to choose, I'm just going to take the whole box out. I'm just going to go ahead and have a hysterectomy. Hey, it's your choice. We live at a time where you can do that, ladies and gentlemen. But just something interesting to see how the left is framing this now. Because we have a 12-week abortion ban, more women are sterilizing themselves. Okay, if that's what you want to go with. Last thing we're going to cover this morning. I don't know if y'all heard about this. I don't know if y'all heard about this dude in Jersey, New Jersey senator, right? This New Jersey senator had a $500,000, okay? A $500,000 buried under the mattress in the closet and clothes. And this is the best explanation I have ever heard for somebody having $1 million under the mattress. Y'all listen to this.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba.
What the hell do that got to do with a $500,000 under the mattress, bruh?
Now, this may seem old-fashioned, but these were monies drawn from my personal savings account based on the income that I have lawfully derived over those 30 years. I look forward to addressing other issues at trial.
All right, how many people believe that he had $480,000 in cash under the mattress because he withdrew it from the savings account? This is a New Jersey senator. More and more people are calling for him to step down because he had bribery charges, federal indictment on bribery and corruption charges. It's not just Democrats. This stuff is happening across both sides of the aisle. But come on, bro. $500,000 tucked under the mattress, bro. That's Scarface status, my dude. In what universe does anybody? You know, you keep a couple of hundred in a box under the thing. You keep some cash around the house for an emergency. I got like $30 I keep in the stash in the glove box in the car in case your, debit card don't work. You leave your wallet. You need some emergency. I get it. But $480,000 in cash sitting around the house, and you're under federal indictment for corruption. Sounds perfectly legitimate to me, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds legitimate to me. Once again, y'all, I will see you tonight in Oxford for the Granville County GOP special fundraiser featuring none other than Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Doors are going to open at 6. It's $35 a head. Not only do you get some refreshments, not only do you get to hear the lieutenant governor, you also will be entered to win a Coyote Tan Glock 19 gun. So you should go to granville.nc.gop. Have some time left to purchase tickets. I will see you guys out there tonight. Again, thanks for rocking with us here on the best 30-minute morning show on the planet, Top of the Morning. We will see you guys live and direct right back here tomorrow for Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative. Peace and love.